Hey guys, my name is Faizan Khan and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to see how we can build this desktop application where we can see COVID-19 details in India, total active cases currently, total cases till now, discharged ones, and number of deaths due to COVID in India. Here this refresh button is used to refresh this data. If there will be any changes in this data, that will be reflected here. In this particular project, I used web scraping. Web scraping is nothing but the extraction of the data. So from this website, mygov.in/COVID-19, from here I have extracted active cases, total cases, discharged, and total number of deaths. So in this tutorial, you are going to learn how you can extract the data from any website. I'm gonna teach you everything step by step from scratch. So just watch this tutorial till the end. So firstly, I'm gonna create this GUI and then we will see how we can fetch the data from that website and display over here. So let's get started. The source code of this project is given in the description of this video. From there you can download the two images that I am going to use. First one is this icon.ico. This is 32 x 32 ICO image, and the second one is this stayhome.png. This is 180 x 180 png. So download these two images from the source code and paste the images in the folder where your main.py file is. Now for creating the GUI of our project, I am going to use an inbuilt module tkinter, which helps us to create GUI very easily because of the classes and the methods present inside it. So firstly we need to import it. So I'm going to write from tkinter import asterisk. This line means that we are importing all the classes and the methods which are present inside this tkinter module. After that, to create a window, we have to create object of tk class. So this is how we create object of this tk class. So this single line will help us to create our window. If I run at this stage, the code is finished. This code executed very fast that we were not able to see that window. To keep that window on hold so that we can continuously see it, we have a method inside this tk class. So I'm going to use that with the help of this root object variable. So root dot main loop method. This will help us to keep our window on a loop so that we can see it continuously. After that, we have to set width and the height of this window. For that, I'm going to use another method of this tk class, which is geometry, and here we need to pass width and the height in the form of a string. So the width is 550 small x, then the height is also 550. Then from the x-axis I will place my window at a distance of 225, and from y-axis I will place this window at 50 distance. Let's see. So this is how it looks. Now we have to add stayhome.png image here at the top. We cannot add this image directly on our window. Firstly, we will have to create object of this image, and then we can add this either on a label or on a button. In my original project, I have added this on a label. So here also I will be adding this image on a label. But before that, we have to create object of this image. So let's see how we can create this object. For that, I'm going to use photo image class, and here I need to pass the file name, which is stayhome.png, and I'll have to assign that to object variable, which is logo image. So this object variable represents this image. Now we can create a label, and on that label we can add this logo image. For creating a label, we have a class inside the tkinter module. So I'm going to use that class label, and where you want this label to appear, I want this label on my window. So here I have to pass the object of my window, which is root here, and I have to create object of this label class also. So it will be logo label. and then we need to add image on this label. So I'll use this image keyword argument, and here the value will be this logo image object variable. So the label is created. If I run at this stage, you will not be able to see the label. The reason is because you have just created the label, but you have not defined where you will add this logo label on your screen, either on the top or bottom, left or right. So here I'm going to use the method of this label class, which is pack. This helps us to add this logo label on our window. So inside this pack method, you can mention the side as top, left, bottom, right. But if you don't mention any side, so by default it will be in the center and at the top. Let's run. So this is how it looks. Let me provide a background color. So here I'm going to use root variable dot config method, and here we need to update the background color. So here I'll pass bg keyword argument, and the color is dark blue. And I also want to provide background color to our label so that this color can match to our window color. So here also I'll add bg equals to dark blue. After this logo label, we have to create data label on which we will be adding all the data that we will be fetching from that website. So this time, instead of adding image on a label, we will be adding text on a label. So this will be a data label, and I'll be using a label class. This label will also be inside my root window. I'm not going to add any text for now. I will be adding that text when we will fetch it. So right now I'm simply going to pack it. So I'm going to write data label dot pack method. If I run at this stage, you will see label like this because it does not have any text or image on it. When we will add text on it, its size will automatically increase. So for now, let me just add a background color of dark blue to this label. After that, I have to create a refresh button, and that refresh button will be created with the help of a button class. So I'm going to create object of this button class, and object variable name will be refresh button. Inside this button class, we have to mention where you want this button. So I want this button on my main window. Then what will be the text on the button? The text will be refresh. Then I will add font for the text. So font has to be in the form of a tuple. First thing, we have to mention the style. So the style that I'm going to use is Poppins. Size will be 18. This is the text size, and then I will make the text as bold. And then let me just pack it. So refresh button dot pack method. Let's see. So at this position we are getting a refresh button. Just above this we have our data label. So once data will be added inside that data label, its size will increase and this refresh button will come at this position. So let's see how we can extract the data from that website and display that on this label. So at the top here, just after this import line, I'm going to create a function def details, and this function will give us the details. Inside this function, firstly we need to mention the URL of the website from which we will be extracting the data. So I will store that URL in one variable URL, and here I will paste the URL. And now we need to access this website through our Python code. For that we will have to download one external module. So go to your terminal. Here you have to type pip install requests. I have already installed this module, so it says requirement already satisfied. Once you install it, just import it like this. Then by using this module we can get the HTML data of this website. So here I'm going to use this module request dot get method, and to this get method we have to pass this URL, right, this variable, and this will return us the HTML data, and I will store that in some variable like this. The data that we get inside this HTML underscore data variable is very complicated, and it is not easy for us to extract the information from this data. So there is a module which is called BS4 Beautiful Soap. That module helps us to fetch the required information from this HTML data. So come to the terminal. Here you have to type pip install beautiful soap 4 and hit enter. This one is also installed for me. Once you will install it, then you can import it. So you have to write import BS4, which is nothing but beautiful soap 4. As I told you, this BS4 module helps us to pull data out of HTML file. So here I am going to create object of beautiful soap class. So this is nothing but our clean data. So I am going to use BS4 module dot beautiful soap class, and to this class we have to pass this HTML data in the form of a text. So I'll use this HTML data dot text, and then I will pass this HTML dot parser. This will help us to scrape the data from this website. So now firstly let's go to that website. So open your web browser. Here just type mygov COVID-19 and visit this first website link. So this is the data that we need to scrap. So how can we get this information, total cases? So what you have to do, just right click on it and go to inspect. Here you can see this data is inside this span tag, and the class here is iCount. In the same way you can inspect this data. So just right click on it and click on inspect. So you are reaching to this position here, and this data is also in the span tag and the class is iCount. Similarly you can check the discharged cases. Here also the tag is span and the class is iCount. In the same way you can check for the active cases. For active cases also the class is iCount and this data is in span tag. By inspection we get to know this, that all this information is inside iCount class and the tag is span. Now come to your code. Here we have a method inside this beautiful soap class which will help us to find all span tag and the class. So I am going to use that method with the help of this object. So I am going to write clean data object dot find all method. Here we will mention the tag which is a span, right? And this will return all the span tags in the complete HTML file. Let me just print that out. So I am storing that in this span variable. Let me just print this span variable so that you can see what it is storing. So just right click and run. I have not called this function, I just defined it. So let me just call it from here, details, like this, and let's run again. So here on the console you can see we are getting all the span tags. So from complete HTML file we can find all span tags like this. But we do not require all the span tags. We only require those span tags whose class is iCount, right? So I'm going to search with the span tag and the class. This will give us more simplified result. So here I have to mention class keyword argument class underscore equals to the class was iCount. You will only see span tag and the class which is iCount. In HTML file we add class to any tag just to make that unique. So with the help of this beautiful soap class we are able to get this information from HTML code. So this beautiful soap simply makes it easy for us to scrap any information from any website. So here this data is nothing but the active cases. This one is total cases, then the discharge cases, and then the total number of deaths. So this is a list. We know how we can access the elements of this list by using a loop. So here I am going to use a loop for data in span, and here I will print this data variable so that you can see what it is storing. Let's run again. So this is nothing but this print statement value. So I'm going to remove this print statement now, and this is the output for this print statement. Here we are only interested in the text, right? So with this data I'm going to use getText method. So this method will only show us the text without these classes and these span tags. Let's see. So here you can see we are only getting the data, right? Now I'm going to format this data and will display it with headings like this is active cases, then this is total cases, discharged ones, and the total number of deaths. So here I'm going to create headings list. So here I have created this list and added 4 strings: active, total cases, discharged, and deaths. So just before this data I want to display this headings, right? So I'll use this headings list, and in a square bracket we have to pass the index, right? So if I pass 0, you will see active everywhere, right? If I run, you can see active, right? Because I passed 0th index. If I will pass 1th index, you will see total cases everywhere. But for the first data only I want to show active, then second one has to be total cases, then discharged, and then deaths. So instead of 0, I'll pass a variable here I, and I will define I here. I assign 0, and here I will increase the value of I by 1 like this. Now let's see. Here you can see now we are getting as we wanted: active, total cases, discharge, and deaths. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add this complete thing in one variable, and that variable I will display on my label. So here I'm going to create a variable all underscore details, and I'll keep it null at the start. And from here I'm going to remove this print statement, and I will store this in this all details variable. So basically what I am doing here, inside this all details variable there is null, no string present. This headings of I and this data.getText will return this, right? So this will be added with this null string, and inside this all details we will have this, and the I value will increase, and next time when the loop will run again, inside this all details we already have this data which is in blue. Now inside this headings of I and data.getText we have this new data, right? So this new data will also be added with this data inside this all details variable. Again when the loop will run for the third time, these three data will be added together, and when the loop will run the fourth time, all this will be added together inside this all details variable. So after this loop ends, let me just print this variable so that you can see what I'm trying to say here. So I'm just printing this all details variable. So you can see inside all details variable we are getting this. Let me add space between this text and this value. So inside this headings of I we have the text. So after this I'm going to provide some space like this. If I run it again, now you can see we are getting some space, right? Now I want to display this total cases on a new line. Similarly this discharged on a new line, and then deaths on a new line. So at the end here I will add a new line character, or maybe two new line characters, right? \n/n. Let's see it again. So here you can see we are getting the result like this now. So this complete data is formatted and is now inside this all details variable. right? So instead of printing, I will simply return it. So I'll return this all details. So this data will be returned to the place from where this function is getting called. So instead of calling this function from here, I will call this function from our data label. So this is our data label. Here I'll add text, and from here I will call this function details. So this data will be returned and will be passed to this text keyword argument as a value, and you will be able to see all details on this label. Let's run and see. Let me provide some font to this data. So inside this label class, I will add font for the text. So the style will be Poppins, that I also used in buttons. Then the size of the text will be 20, and I'll make that text as bold. Let's see again. Yeah, now it's fine. And I also want to change the text color to white. So here I'll use FG for the text color, and the color is white. So this is how it looks. Now let's work on the functionality of this refresh button, that when I will click on this refresh button, if there will be any changes in this data, that will be reflected here, right? So I'm going to provide a command to this refresh button. So command equals to refresh. This is basically a function that we need to define. So I will define that function just after this details function. So I'll write def refresh. So what I will do inside this function, I will simply call this details function again inside this function, right? So here I'll write details function, and whatever this will return will be simply a new data, right? And this new data I will display on that label. So I'll use that data label, right? And then I will use the config method. This simply helps us to update anything. So here I'm simply going to update the text, and the text will be nothing but this new data. So if there will be any change in the data, that new data will be added on our data label. I hope you understood this. One more thing, I forgot to add title and icon to our title bar. So let's do that. Here where we have created our window, just after this, let's add first of all the title. So I'm going to use this title method of a tk class, and the title will be COVID-19 details of India. And then for adding the icon on the title bar, you have to use the method icon bitmap, and here you have to pass the ICU image. So the ICU image is icon.icu, right? Let's see. So now here you can see the icon and the title. So that's it for this video. I hope you understood everything. Let me know in the comment section if you have any doubts. So just stay safe, take care of yourself and your family. Thank you for watching.